Hello and welcome to CS 326. My name is Joshua DeAndrea. I'll be your instructor for this asynchronous intensive online course. This course is designed to last a couple of weeks, and we're going to cover a lot of ground together. I recorded this video as a welcome video. You'll see many of these throughout the lectures and the modules, and I'll explain about those a little bit more in the next few minutes here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. That way we can walk through the syllabus. All right, so you can see the syllabus here on Canvas. Hopefully you can still, good, okay. Okay, so here's the syllabus on Canvas. Welcome again, this is Introduction to Data Science. Uh, this course will actually be conducted on a platform that I built called Lecture.cloud. So I would like everybody to go to Lecture.cloud, create a profile there, and when you log in, you should see an invite from me to join the course. It is really, really, really important that you use the email that is linked to your Canvas profile. So if you go over to your account and dig around in the settings a little bit, you'll find the email address that's actually associated with your Canvas profile. It's just usually your name and your year followed by u.northwestern.edu. That's really important so that way I can sync your progress with Canvas and I don't have to do it manually. So I'd really appreciate you guys doing that. So we'll go ahead and do that part first. So we'll enter in over here. I created an account using u.northwestern.edu and already invited myself to the course. So when you guys log in, you can see this. Go ahead and accept the invitation. You'll see that you're now enrolled in data science. Clicking on that takes you to the course homepage. You'll see the first two modules are already up. I will be working on deploying the rest of the modules over the next week or so. But we'll see first here, we have this introduction module. Go ahead and click on the lecture, and then you can scroll through the slides as you normally would. Unclutch that. Also, I really like dark mode, so we'll do that. All right. At the beginning and end of every lecture, I have a slider. That slider will let me know how confident you are about the material, both before and after exposure to my lectures. And so don't really know what we're doing in this course yet, so we'll go ahead and slide it down to give ourselves a 1 out of 10. I'll go ahead and link this video here, but it'll just be the same video, so you don't need to rewatch it. Here you'll see the grading breakdown for this course. About 75% of the course is going to be based on modules and in-class quizzes, which we'll talk more about in just a few minutes, as well as coding assignments. There is a cumulative final in this class that will be worth 25% of your overall score. Again, we will cover more details later. All right. So as far as the modules go and how I score you guys going through these different lectures, there's two different components to it. One, there's polls, and the other one is assignments. So the polls are, you can complete these quizzes at your own pace. They're just interspersed with the lectures themselves. You get exactly one attempt per submission. Now, I will say that I have included so many of these polls to where it doesn't really matter if you miss one or two, but just know that you can only submit one time. So we'll go ahead and see here if you miss one or two. Don't sweat it because there's so many polls, but we'll go and answer the question because students are only allowed one single submission per poll. We'll submit, and then that was correct, and so we'll continue forward. Now, the assignments are done using Visual Studio Code, and I'll go ahead and give a brief demo there. I got to stop sharing and share my full screen. So make sure you download Visual Studio Code using this link here. And then I'll show you guys how to install the plugin that I created. There we go. All right. So going back just briefly to our course homepage here, you can see that there's an assignment card within the introduction module. Now, this assignment, when you click on Open in VS Code, you can open in Visual Studio Code. It'll prompt you to install an extension. So this is contingent on you actually downloading and installing VS Code before that. I assume that everybody already has it, but if you don't, I included the link in the syllabus. So you're going to install the extension. Uh, Please do trust. I don't have anything in here that um, will harm your computer. All right, so we can log in using the same credentials as what we use to log into the Lecture Cloud platform. I use the same logins for both. And you can see that we already have two assignments here within the extension. So we're just going to work on homework one for now. Open that up. You see a notebook on the right and a workspace on the left. You never have to edit anything at all in the notebooks. I only grade what is in the Python scripts off to the left. The only reason why I include the notebooks is so that you can click through and you can see which of your functions work. Do they work as expected? You can tinker and you can play with it. You do not submit the notebook at any point, so you don't need to make any edits. You just run through to make sure that it gives you what you expect. Now, I also wanted to include this ability for you guys to reset your workspace. I mean, sometimes you're working in Homer for a while, things get pretty convoluted, and you just want to reset and then start where you began. So you guys can reset. And so this is what you should actually see on your end. See, now it does not work because you need to implement this function. And so the homework, the whole goal is you're working through the Python script on the left, and you just want your notebook to render in expected ways on the right. So I'm going to break the rules here, and I'm going to return hi instead of hello world. You see over here in our Lecture Cloud extension, there's a tests column. You can submit your assignment. This will submit it to a server that I have that runs a series of tests against the code that you have written. Certify that you don't use any LLMs. We didn't talk about this yet, but we will. There are no LLMs in this course. Please don't use them. I can't stop you guys. It's very, very hard for me to identify what has been generated by an LLM and what has been generated by you. But I do ask you to not use LLMs. And if I do catch you, there will be academic integrity consequences there. But I'll certify that I did not because I didn't here. I submitted my homework, and you can see that we failed the test, right? We didn't return the string that it expected. So we'll fix that. Save, resubmit the assignment, recertify. It's again running the tests, and now it passes. So if you want to track your overall progress, one, you can see how many attempts you have remaining here in the tests column. But two, you can actually see that the Lecture Cloud portal will update, and it'll let you know what type of results you're getting on your homework. So you can see it here, you can see which tests pass, and then it'll also update over here inside the portal and let you know, good, we're passing 1 out of 1, and we used 2 out of our 3 attempts. I have to limit the number of attempts that you guys do on these homeworks, not for any academic reasons, but for cost reasons. I'm running these servers on my end, and that costs dollars per minute. So I do limit the number of attempts that you guys have to 3 across each of the homeworks. So you can see that our first module here in the introduction, we're only about 75% of the way done. So let's go back into the overview. We just talked about assignments and how you can complete those. Please let me know if you have any questions. I will, well, we're discussing it right now in this video, so I'll either relink this video or create another video specifically for assignments. As you guys are working through these modules, and if you need any help at all, 3 different ways to get help here. One, I've included this video requests feature in this platform. If you come across a topic, you're like, wow, this wasn't super well explained, you'd really like some additional clarification, please submit a video request. I'm really just focused on you guys for the next couple of weeks here. So submit a video request and I'll try to turn it back around within a few hours. I will add the video link to the slide so that everybody can benefit from those explanations. But we'll go ahead and show you how to do that. Click on this button down here. Video request, Medium. Let's see, what topic would I like to see a video on? Getting help with modules. I do ask that you include the link to the lecture slide and then describe it better. You submit this to me, I'll get it on my end, and then I'll create the video and I'll put it up as a little YouTube link here on this. If you're making lots of requests and you want to be able to keep track of what you've asked for and what you haven't, click on this button right here. And you can go ahead and see that getting help with modules, describe it better, and the link to the lecture slide. It's still currently open because I haven't addressed it yet. You'll see it resolved when I do address it. Okay, so that's getting help with some of the modules via video requests. I'm also going to hold office hours every day from 3 until 4 p.m. These will be automatically recorded, stored on Canvas in the cloud. Um, so if you stop by office hours, just keep in mind those are automatically recorded. If you need to have any type of personal conversation with me, I'm happy to hop offline or do a little subgroup thing. But the main office hours will be recorded, so keep that in mind. As a last resort, feel free to contact me via email, josh@northwestern.edu. There are about 50 of you and only one of me this quarter, so please keep that in mind when you're emailing, and please try to bias towards one of these two options. If you have a question that many other students have, I can answer everybody's question at once, but these first two, I can only answer you guys one at a time via email. All right. Going back to LLMs, don't use them. They're incredibly useful tools. I use them every day in my everyday work. Um, they're harming your learning. You guys have heard this speech so many times that I'm not going to choose anything new here. But hopefully, as you guys get more and more experience using these tools, you realize that there's a lot of cognitive offloading. And if there's anything that I want to do in this course, it's cognitive onloading. I want to teach you guys how to think about data science. I want to talk and express. Um, I want to express how important it is for you guys to work through these types of problems and to challenge yourself as much as you can in this time. You've got a couple weeks to learn this course. You've got a couple weeks to get up to speed on data science. Use them and use me. Please don't use an LLM. It's too easy to get the answers that you're looking for, even if they're correct or not. So please come to office hours, make video requests, challenge yourself, learn as much as you can. Don't offload your brains to LLMs because the number one asset that you guys have graduating from Northwestern is your brains. So I wouldn't give that up for the sake of a generalized LLM. There is one exam in this class. It'll be at the end. It'll be remote and in a lockdown browser. I'll give more details about this later. Academic integrity, talked a little bit about this, but don't exchange any code fragments on any of the assignments. Please don't copy solutions from any source, including from the web or previous students. And I do search the internet every now and then, and I look for shared assignments. Please don't share these assignments. They're designed to be challenging, but not impossible. Again, the whole point is for you guys to learn. So please make sure that future students have the same benefit as you guys. If you have any accommodations that you need to go through, or if you have any accommodations at Northwestern, please let me know. I'm happy to uh, provide accommodations in any way that I can. And then at the end of every lecture, please let me know how confident you are on the expectations for a course. And in this case, feeling very confident that we know what to do here for CS 326, this async online version of it. And so we're going to go up and give ourselves a 10 out of 10. So that's more or less what I had for a little introduction. I think we can briefly talk about the schedule now. So the schedule, I've broken it down into 5 primary modules here. We have the overview one, which we've just done together. And so you've already accomplished 15% of this course. Good job. Module 2 is all about exploratory data analysis. We'll talk about data sources, exploratory data analysis, including quantifiable or graphical means for exploring data, correlation and association analyses. So we'll talk about Pearson's and Spearman's and Simpson's paradox. We'll dive into all of that. Hypothesis testing, so we'll cover some basic hypothesis testing, t-tests, ANOVA, chi-squared. I want you guys to feel very confident in being able to tell how is data different, how are populations different. Each of these modules, with the exception of the last one, has an assignment attached to it, and so we'll also do a big homework assignment too. So we'll keep working our way down here. So in module 3, we discuss data preprocessing, linear and logistic regression, decision trees and ensemble modeling and evaluation. Most of my career before academia, I spent doing just straight machine learning engineering work. I spent a little bit of time at Nike R&D and spent quite a bit of time at Google X. And so have a pretty broad perspective on what it means to be a machine learning engineer in industry, and I hope to impart that during some of these modules. But module three is definitely like coming home for me, and I hope that you guys enjoy that one. Module four is more unsupervised machine learning. And so this is going to be clustering, recommendation modeling, and then a big homework assignment where you guys will build your own clustering mechanism. Module five, this one does not have a homework assignment, but it does include time series or forecasting models, as well as two different lectures on natural language processing, both traditional and also modern. So we'll talk a little bit about transformers and retrieval augmented generation, which is just a really handy tool to have. If we have time, I'll also include maybe some model context protocol and some agentic flows, but we'll see about that as we go forward. And then we have our final exam, slightly less than 2 weeks from now. So this is a very, very, very fast course. You guys can see that we're covering a lot of ground here. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed or like there's just too much stuff to cover. I do have a suggested completion date for each of these different modules. Now you could go through and finish them all the first day that they're posted, and that would be awesome. That gives you plenty of time to study for the final exam and to just kind of crank through this course if that's what your interest is. But I would really try to finish it by at least these dates. If you fall behind in a 2 week course, you're behind, and that's stressful for you on the last couple of days when you have to get everything in. I expect everything to be in on July 2nd. That is the last official day of this course. I'll give you guys to 11:59 p.m. But so try to keep on track here. I think that you'll benefit from that. All right, so that's everything that I have now. Feel free to shoot me an email if there's anything I didn't cover, or make a video request for additional explanations on things. Happy to accommodate those. Let's see here. One thing that we actually didn't talk about yet. We should go back and talk about the homework assignments just for a few minutes here. And that's actually just probably best it's at the end because people can just fast forward to this part if you are having trouble installing the environment. Uh, Inside the extension that we installed, so if you click on the extensions tab here and you click on Lecture Cloud, you will see the installation instructions for the Python environment that I use on my end for testing. And so if you use that on your end, you can validate that everything matches up. And so setting up Python, we're going to use this package called UV. Copy and paste these commands. If you have a MacBook, Linux, or Chromebook, copy and paste these commands if you have Windows, and then you can go ahead and just install the environment. I used to have a little like background to the extension that runs this process and installs a whole bunch of stuff in your computer, but I actually decided I like that you guys have the visibility into how this is installed, so you can go ahead and uninstall it later if you want. But once you run all of these commands in your terminal and you want to select your kernel inside the Jupyter Notebook over here on the right, you can go to Jupyter kernel and then click on Lecture Cloud kernel. And now that environment will run. And you can test out all your functions that you're writing over here in the script. All right. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions going forward, don't hesitate to reach out. I typically really enjoy getting to know all of the students in my class. And so please do come to office hours, even if you don't have any questions or concerns about the course. Just interested in meeting you guys and getting to know you a little bit better. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Don't be strangers. I will include many videos like this in the slides, so you guys will be seeing my face quite a bit, but I don't get to see yours. So please do show up to office hours. And yeah, I think that's everything that I had for a quick intro video. I hope to see you all soon. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.